haven't seen you in a while. Let's get caught up. Tell me what has
Yeah.
been keeping you all hot and sweaty during this incredible summer heat.
Yeah, it has been a hot minute since I've been on with you guys, and I'm glad to be back. But what is really turning me on these days is fantasy. Basically fantasy talk. Although it really can be anything. Like it can be role play, it can be dressing up. But what I'm specifically thinking about are those like steamy conversations that you have with your partner about what they want or what you want, especially when it's maybe not like possible in the moment. It's something that you might think about or dream about. We've all talked about, I think one of the most common things that come to my mind is the couple fantasizing about like a threesome, right? That other person in the bedroom, whether
Hmm.
it's another male or another female or hey, one of each. I don't know. It's that sexy talk that occurs when the actual situation maybe isn't available to them or they're not ready for it. Um, so it's that conversation that kind of steams up the bedroom without adding a lot of potential tension or a lot of potential issues. It's just kind of it kind of turns me on just to get to talk about things before deciding whether or not it's something you actually want to try.
Yeah, I hear it. I just love the notion of couples being able to talk about sex and to have some fun with it. But, if you want to sexualize that conversation to make it more palatable, then great. Just be having it. If there's any message from this show, have these conversations. Talk about sex. We're going to talk about, I think, the importance of that a lot more in a little bit. But Kara, what's got you worked up right now?
Yeah, so I have just recently stumbled across a show that I thought was pretty cool. I was at home watching sometimes you put on shows in the background just to have something on, while you're doing whatever else in the house. And I came across this show that my streaming service recommended to me. I guess they know me too well. I think they're listening to me in my house or something because it was like, oh, number one pick for you, how to build a sex room. And I thought, oh,
Yes.
okay, that sounds interesting. I was like, good option there. The algorithm is working. But it
You
was a
really
lot of
do know
fun.
me. You really do.
Yeah,
It's
you
like you
care.
care. Yeah.
Yeah,
I hadn't
thanks,
even heard of that
Alexa.
show until you mentioned it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have found it. I mean, I promise I wasn't just searching that on Google and it accidentally came up, but
I mean, even if you were, no
definitely
shame.
not. Yeah, well, and that's what I love about the concept of the show. It's people wanting to have their house remodeled to have a sex room. And of course, it's one of those kind of reality home remodeling shows. I'm sure it's all scripted. Who knows? But it's kind of fun to get to see people, talking to the interior decorator about, well, here's the kind of kinks that we're into, here's, oh, we're in a poly family or, all these kinds of things that are just not what you traditionally see on the home remodeling shows, and it's
Mhm.
nice to see people talking about that openly, and having that be
Yeah.
represented on a fun, kind of turn off your brain and just enjoy your day kind of show. So,
Yeah, no, it sounds like
yeah.
a good time. That was, it was called How to Build a Sex Room?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah. Well, I usually don't jump in for these, but I have to tell everybody I am incredibly worked up right now. I just got
Mhm.
back from vacation, and part of that involved my like summer beach reading or whatever else. And I have just been so excited about the book In Transit, Being Non-Binary in a World of Dichotomies. That's the new book by friend of the show, Diana E. Anderson. I kind of think of Diana as the like gender historian or NBologist of SecX, and I am just super excited for their new audiobook, read by the author. Super fun to just have them in my ear while I was flying this past week, and it's a really interesting read so far. I'm sure that they do great work, so I'd encourage everybody to check that out.
That
Yeah,
sounds
that sounds really,
awesome,
really
Christy. I'm
good.
super excited
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I know,
Cannot
it makes
wait.
me think
I'm
of my
ordering
kids,
it
like,
now.
as they get older. Yeah, it makes me think, like, it'd be a really good book for my young adult children to read because there's so much about sexuality out there that we just don't know about, and to be able to digest it in that way, I think is really exciting.
Yeah, and it's such a new history, right? Like
Yeah.
the reality of non-binary identities is being written right now in many, many ways.
Mhm.
That's not to suggest that this is somehow a new phenomena, but we have systematically erased that history for, in many ways, thousands of years. If you're questioning that, we've detailed that in many places on this show, in large part with the help of Diana Anderson. But nevertheless, it's so important to start putting this shit down on paper, to make it indelible, especially as we kind of look around the world and realize so much of the progress we thought we were making is incredibly vulnerable. So I'm just
Yeah.
very, very excited about this one.
Yeah, this sounds
Definitely.
awesome. I'm super excited now too. So thank you for sharing that. I
Yeah,
cannot wait. I'm gonna
for
come back
sure.
next time and be talking about this. And it's like too bad you already
Yeah.
talked about it. I'm talking about it again.